So this is the kit that we use for Llama. We have a Zebra printer and an iPod Touch. Now these are connected via Bluetooth, which means that they do not require a Wi-Fi connection. This means that they are a standalone device, and therefore if there are any network issues, it will not affect Llama. We chose to use Apple devices as they delivered a platform that could also be used by the majority of major clinical software companies, such as eObservations. Apple is also familiar technology to many staff from their personal devices. The iPods are charged from a USB source, therefore reducing the number of power sockets required, which is very advantageous in smaller clinical prep rooms. The iPods and printers can be decontaminated using the same cleaning methods as all medical devices. The software used for Llama interprets the data contained in the QR, which is the square barcode on the patient wristband, and prints this information to be attached on the transfusion sample. Llama utilises a full patient dataset, which is populated from the patient administration system to ensure accurate information. GS1 barcoding is due to become a national standard. Llama was specifically designed to be able to read GS1 barcodes. The use of Llama is intuitive, which has allowed all training to be delivered in clinical areas with minimal interruption. Thorough training takes approximately 10 minutes and can then be cascaded through staff members.
One of the frustrations that we've had over years has been to have samples rejected from the blood transfusion service. We have to take a second sample. That delays things for the patient. It means that my staff have to do further sampling, which takes them time, ties them up as well. And the frustration for the blood transfusion service, the frustration for us, the frustration for the patient is all very, very tangible. And in these days of 4-hour turnarounds in the emergency department, when time is absolutely everything, we just can't afford that kind of time wasting. We've heard about the alternatives, taking 2 samples, matching them together. Again, that makes it difficult for the emergency department to comply. So the Llama idea, once, get it right first time, we love that. And so we're right behind this project.
So our transfusion team have developed the app locally because the national recommendation says that where a cross-match specimen is taken by an electronic method that can absolutely be sure of the patient's identity, then a second specimen isn't required. So this is good for the clinicians. They have to spend less time taking the specimen. And it's good for us because we can be absolutely certain that an individual cross-match specimen came from that patient and from nobody else.
We're a medium-sized emergency department in a teaching hospital. We see somewhere between 60 and 70,000 patients per year. The Llama has been fantastic for us. What we really have noticed is that with regards to patient safety, we have far fewer rejections of blood samples going to the lab. And we know that the samples are done on the right patients. One of the things we have found is that in emergency situations where we need patients identified rapidly, we've found it invaluable in order to get blood and blood products for these patients urgently, particularly in cases of major trauma.
The reason that I have loved every second of working with Llama is not only the patient benefits. That's fantastic, and that was our end goal, and we've achieved that. But for me, it's been the feedback and the communication that I've had with the clinical staff on the shop floor.
So you've got the added benefits of actually using Llama has actually helped improve standards throughout the whole of the blood taking process that we found on maternity.
No, I think that was great.
The risk of error is a lot less as a result.
We all love a good Llama.
I can't remember how it was before we had Llama in the emergency department. Everything's just so much quicker and easier now.